Hey, what's up, you guys? I wanted to do a short testimonial video on my experience working with Mario Flores and junk money, or junk removal money, and basically just tell you guys my experience with it and hopefully help him out and give other people the opportunity to receive the help I got. So basically, the quick synopsis of it is that I started junk removal a year ago. It's January or February 2020 now, and then I started in January last year and didn't really do anything with it at first besides we do pressure washing, and so we did junk removal for our existing customers. And then it was probably 5 or 6 months where I started trying to run AdWord campaigns and basically do any kind of marketing that I could. We did Home Advisor, we did Yelp, we did 2 different types of AdWord campaigns, or had 2 different people manage it, and then even myself included, and didn't really see much results at all, or satisfactory results. And then I stumbled across Mario's YouTube channel, where he talks about basically just developing his own business, and basically, I mean, was blown away by it, and then super hopeful that I could have those same results if I worked with him or did his course. And so and hopefully this doesn't sound fake or inauthentic, but so I'll basically tell you guys briefly like what I tried and what results I saw from that, and then when I started using his course and got his help on his course and the results I got from that. So first we did Yelp. It was cool. We paid maybe $400 a month and got maybe 10 or 20 leads a month from it. So a pretty solid amount starting out from 0 traffic, and then closed maybe so we maybe made about $1,000 or maybe $1,500 from Yelp marketing. But it's kind of difficult with Yelp because it comes out of nowhere, and then a lot of times people aren't willing to respond, or it's not like it's kind of hard to to quote something when you don't have someone's phone number. You're texting them and you can't get their address, so you don't, it's pretty limiting on Yelp. And then Home Advisor was cool, but it's like $20-25 for a lead, and then it's the same situation. You get people that won't pick up the phone or won't call back, and then again you don't get the solid information from them, and so it's just kind of a harder bracket. And then if you're paying $25-30 a lead, and then you get 5 leads at 20% closing rate, that's, I mean, pretty much how we were closing. I mean, you could spend $125-150 before you close a job, and then if you close a job for $100, it's like you're losing money. So it wasn't a great experience with Home Advisor. And then we had another company. I won't name any names besides Mario, but we had another company. With AdWords, I tried to set up a campaign, because we've basically all this marketing we've done with pressure washing, and it's worked really good. And so I set up our AdWords campaign for pressure washing, and it went really well. I had a close friend help me out, and that was awesome. And that's basically how we generate most of our work for pressure washing. But then with that, so I tried to duplicate it in trash hauling, and it was good for like a day or 2, and then it sloped off really fast. And then I called a company and got their help with it, and they were charging me about like $300 a month. And so I basically trusted that they would know what to do, and they were good, and they were solid, but it was kind of hard to get like communication back from them. And then again, the results just didn't really seem to pan out how I was hoping for them to. So there was that problem with it, and so it basically just wasn't the ideal scenario with them. So it was like the leads started dropping off, and I didn't feel like they were paying much attention to what I was running. And yeah, so I mean, they were nice guys, but it just wasn't the best experience. Basically, the main thing is that the leads stopped stopped coming in about 2 or 3 or 4 days after we had the campaign set up. So basically it's great the first 2 days, and then it fizzes out. And so that was how it was when I did it. That was how it was when the other person did it. And then I canceled the work with them, and so I started trying to set it up again on my own. And it was basically the same thing. Went good for a day or two, and then fizzed out very quickly, and was back to no calls from AdWords. So, or maybe 1 or 2 calls from AdWords. So did that, and then I got another company that I talked to, and they were willing to, they seemed very solid and very reputable, but they wanted $750 a month to manage the campaign, not including any ad spending, which was, I mean, I understand paying for quality, but $750 is a lot of money a month after I just kind of, and I'm pretty knowledgeable in AdWords, so it's not like I was just I mean, I basically didn't feel comfortable spending the money and not knowing how it would work out, and it was not in my budget to spend $750 just to, not including the $1,000 or $1,500 to actually put into ad spending. So basically didn't have it in my budget. And so then I tried to set up the campaign again myself, and then that went relatively smooth, but again, it was the same thing. It went like 2 or 3 days solid, and then it dropped off. And when I say 2 or 3 days solid, I mean like getting 4 or 5, maybe 6 calls a day, and that's what I would perceive as solid, right? So, and these are at like $30, $45, $50 spending budgets for the day. So basically then I was looking on YouTube trying to find out how I could set up a better campaign and if I'm missing something, and I came across Mario's page where he talks about booking $3,500 in junk removal in a day and grossing $30,000 a month and trash hauling, and I was like, this is exactly what I want. This is sick. So I looked at more of his videos, and then he basically explained that he's got a program where he offers AdWords, and I mean, it was just sick. I was like, okay, this is legit, because he understands exactly what's going on, and my perception is basically what I saw, that he knows other companies. He basically hit the nail on the head with every problem I had experienced beforehand, and so I kind of basically trusted him and called him up and asked him some more questions, and was kind of really inspired by what he had going on, and basically just reached out to him, and then talked with him a little bit more, and then he told me about his course, where I think it was $500 to do the course, and set up basically his junk removal money course, and it's basically a AdWords campaign setup. It walks you through it. He gives you some pre-set up templates where you can set up a landing page. He tells you how to run the ads and set the ads up, and then basically just walks you through the whole thing start to finish. And so I did that, or I basically paid the $500, which I was again skeptical of. It's not very far from the $750, but the $750 was a monthly management fee. This was theoretically, I mean, this is like a one-time fee, right? So I paid the $500, and honestly, and so then I set it up, and it worked solid. And again, here we are 12 months later. So we'd be super busy. We do Christmas lights and pressure washing, so I would kind of be coming in and out of investing time and effort into trash hauling to try and get it off the ground, but we hired another person, and so now I was able to kind of step away and focus more of my attention on the trash hauling. And so here we are in January, and I basically redid everything, followed the program that he laid out, and did it from what I thought was step by step, and basically like follow the minute details of it, and did it to the best of my ability. And again, was kind of like and so no, I'm just being totally transparent. Again, was like kind of disappointed, because I felt like I went maybe 2 weeks with it, or on the having it set up, and I started getting, at first I got 3, 4, 5 calls a day, and I was stoked. And then a week and a half, 2 weeks later, it started dropping off to where I'd get maybe 1 call a day, and I think I went like 2 or 3 days without getting any calls, and these are with $50 a day ad spend. So I'd hit maybe 1,200 impressions and get 10 clicks on my ads, but I would get one call or no calls. And I mean, after a while that gets pretty expensive, because if it's $500 every 2 weeks or $250 a week, it's kind of like, I mean, and you have no jobs coming in, it kind of eats away money fast. And so I was pretty bummed and kind of discouraged. And so I called Mario, and then basically I told him what was going on, and told him about the different, like basically the metrics that I'd been seeing, where I'd get 1,200 impressions, 9 clicks, and then 0 calls in real life. And so we checked out that it works okay, and he said he'll take a look at it that night. And this was, I think, Monday night maybe. And so today is Wednesday, it's Thursday afternoon. And so he looked at it Monday night, and then and I voiced all of this to him, and he was very receptive to it, that I'd have work done to it, and excuse me, I'd have work done to it, and then the results would be very awesome and ideal and exactly what I want, but then for a day or two, and then they drop off. And so basically here we are on Thursday, and so I was just texting him today, and we are just 3 days in, but the results have been sick. So basically the first day, Tuesday, we got, I think, maybe 7 or 8 calls and / email leads, and I was like, this is badass, because even when we had 1 or 2 days that were really great beforehand, like running the other campaigns previously, it wasn't 7 or 8 leads, it was maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6 at the most, on like a $75 a day ad spend budget. And so this was $50 a day, and we got probably seven calls or 7 leads. And so then the next day, Tuesday, and I texted him, I was like, blown away, this is awesome, I appreciate it so much, and also said that I'm still skeptical because I've done this 4 or 5 times before. And he said, it should work this time, I think this is going to be the last time you have this problem. And so, which is like music to my ears, because it means that I would get what he has theoretically, right? I mean, if you watch his videos, it looks like he's slammed with work, he's getting top dollar work, and just very busy and developing a great business. And so I was excited. And then yesterday, Wednesday, we got 10 calls / leads, and then today we got, I don't know how, I think 10 or 12 calls again. So basically, and it's Thursday, and so and I would expect tomorrow we'd probably get 10 or 12 calls. So I'm very excited. This is certainly the best results I've seen, like, in just 3 days. I mean, we've gotten 30 leads, and I haven't checked the ad spending, but I would think we're using our budget every day, which is awesome. But it's also basically giving us exactly the leads that we were hoping for. So I'm very, very, very excited, and they're quality leads. It's not like we used to get we've gotten calls for roll-off dumpsters, which we don't have, and we had that in the negative keywords that we don't do roll-off dumpsters. We got calls for we got calls as if, like, to be like regular general garbage pickup, like off the side of the street, and we don't do that. And then we got calls for like a bunch of free, I mean, we still got some calls for like free pickup and stuff, even though it's in the negative keyword. But basically, like, we've gotten quality leads. I mean, there's still been super cheap people and people thinking that we're crazy if we want to charge them to pick up like a mattress, that we should pay them. But it's like, people, they're still great leads. We did I mean, this isn't the goal, but today we did one job for $450. So we've got a 6-yard, basically a 12-yard trailer that we pay $10 a yard to dump, or $30 a ton. So that's basically like our our cost to dump or our dumping fees, and so we've been charging $4.50 a load, and I'm still figuring out my pricing for it, but basically, so $4.50 a load, we got a full load and donated the whole thing, so that was sick. So that was $4.50, and then today, and then we also picked up like a box spring and a mattress, and that was $120, and then so that's in the, I mean, it's already paid for the course, literally. So because tomorrow we've got $75 for a table, $125 for 2 basketball hoops, and something else. A box of pool toys. So that's $200 plus like a fish tank, a dresser, and a vanity is another $100, which may sound cheap, but I plan on reusing the fish tank. So that's $300, and then what's the other? We've got another job tomorrow. I can't remember what it is. We're cleaning out. Some guy's moving, so he's got like couches and a mattress, and I think it was a piece of it. So, but basically, that's like $800, $900 in 2 days from a campaign that costs $500 to set up, and this is 2 days in. So he set it up Monday or Monday night. So this is 3 days in, and we're already paid for the course, making good money. I mean, profit. Like, I'm very, 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 very excited. So I'm very grateful to him, and I totally recommend his course. If you're in Houston, you can go kick rocks and not take his course, but if you're outside of Houston, I'd certainly recommend doing the course, because I don't know what your campaign's set up like right now, or your marketing, and maybe you're seeing great results and you just want to improve, or maybe you're not seeing the results you want, and you want to do something different. But I certainly highly recommend taking Mario's course and figuring it out, or doing it and having him guide you, and it's amazing. So and then the last piece too is that Mario, I had already paid him. He didn't owe me anything, and he didn't owe me anything, and he had met his side of the deal, given me the course and everything. And then also, it was like 7 months after I bought the course from him that this is last night, or Monday night, and so I'm telling him all this stuff, and he literally spent like 2 or 3 hours, I think, going through everything that I had set up, which apparently I did a horrible job of following his directions. But so he basically critiqued everything and fixed it and added a bunch of stuff, and basically like revised everything to where it works like a fluid machine. So he spent a lot of time going in and fixing everything that he didn't have to at all. And so, I mean, I'm super grateful for him, and I just totally recommend taking his course and using him and trying to connect with him, because he has a lot of value to offer, and I know he's gonna do like amazing things, because I plan on doing the same thing, and I see the action he takes, and it's like, I'm like, oh shit, that's what I need to do. So I think he's a great resource. He's super knowledgeable, he's super badass, he's super helpful. And so so I just totally recommend taking his course. If it seems like a lot of money, it is, but it's not at all. So it's like, I mean, it's nothing. So I definitely recommend his course, and working with him and trying to get as much knowledge as he can, and utilize all the resources he has, because it's a plethora of stuff and information. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I know it's a pretty long video, it's 20 minutes, but yeah, so hopefully this helps you guys get to where you want to be, or make progress. But his course certainly has been helping me just in the last 3 days, dramatically helping me get to where I want to be. So thank you guys a bunch. I appreciate it. Bye.